What do you say, Buck? Adventure of a lifetime.
Well, it really does go to show. You can teach an old dog new tricks.
There is a place we could be free.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You know what all of you should do? Get out into nature. It's an absolutely beautiful world out there, full of fun, excitement, danger, but ultimately incredible experiences. Speaking of which, did you see? Movie that came out in 1935. Man and his dog trying to fend through the wilderness in order to find their true nature and calling. That little movie managed to get a remake. And I know what you're thinking, that's all Hollywood is these days, but it's actually not a bad one. It still captures the beauty and majesty of exactly what it was trying to do in the first place. Disney's The Call of the Wild. Directed by Chris Sanders, starring Harrison Ford, Dan Stevens, Omar Sy, Karen Gillan, Bradley Whitford, and Colin Woodell. Based on a book of the same name that came out in 1903 by legendary writer Jack London. Dog's journey meeting different masters, learning about his true north, and the adventures that he goes on to get there. But is this movie really a true property of what Jack London was trying to bring across? Or is it just another shelled out remake that's trying to make a few bucks? Let's find out. Kick it into the good. Let's not do that again. First thing you're probably going to notice, the dog that is in this, they decided to go for a different approach. He's fully CGI. It doesn't look like that. With the amount of animation and emotion that he conveys and brings out, the way that he does everything, you honestly can't even tell. And that's what made it so special to look at. He had the right mannerisms, the way that a dog would be able to convey himself, the different emotions that he would go through, the depth in which his character would go. This is a dog we're talking about. Gotta be something good about this. Like a Deadpool version of Scooby-Doo. Not really in the same sense, because obviously we wouldn't like to see this guy with that sort of a mouth, but more in the style of less is more. The actors are actually giving it their all. Harrison Ford being on screen, let's be honest, throughout most of his movies, started to become a little bit stale. Going with the flow, he's Harrison Ford and it doesn't really matter what he does, still be the exact same person that he is. This is more of a character you used to see back when Star Wars used to be big and Indiana Jones. Very, very pleasant to see Harrison Ford getting back into his acting roots. Even so, there's a lot of different cameos as well. Seeing the likes of Karen Gillan in a movie like this was very surprising to me. This isn't her type of movie, but I'll definitely go with it. Characters, the actors, show real emotion. They feel as if what you're actually seeing on screen is a proper interaction between man and beast. Good, simplistic idea that conveys so much more. Now, the story plays out more from the dog's perspective. That's not a problem, because it feels like a happy story. Not playing from a kid's perspective. It feels like a proper family movie. Even though this has a lot of adult themes already, it really pushes the family dynamic hard, keeps you invested till the very end, because it's above what it is. This is an experience. I could turn off the sound and I would still be able to figure out what's going on. See, that's visual medium right there. What you're seeing is a moving picture. You don't need words. You don't need sound. You can feel the intensity of each moment as it comes, and that's what made this so special. As good as gold can be, you always find a few rocks amongst the fortune. I felt like the emotion was just on the edge. It didn't have enough to convey exactly what the audience was supposed to be feeling. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of emotional scenes in this, actually on the brink of tears, but that's the problem. You want to be able to look at a movie and feel that emotion and that power come through the intensity of the acting and exactly the visuals that you're seeing on screen. But there were moments where it just went a little too fast. In between sections, Buck go through different families, the different adventures, it just felt a little bit quick. Would have liked to have seen more from family members, different characters, different ways that he went through before he got to the next one. I would have liked to have seen more of Harrison Ford. He's in it for at least half the movie. Having him put on the front poster, you probably think to yourself that he would be the front runner for it. Come to think of it, in 1935, Clark Gable was really at the center of attention and had the dog just on the side. At the same time, it would still have that good dynamic between man and dog. And I just wanted more. The animation direction is a little off at times. Few moments where I was just thinking, could have spent a little bit more time on that. A scene where there was a rope around Buck's neck. He sort of just wriggled out of it. See that the person who was holding the rope looked like he wasn't holding anything. It's little nitpicks that I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I would have just liked to have flicked off and seen a little bit more effort. And Harrison Ford, obviously the main actor, but he's also the narrator. Didn't really feel like it was needed. Comes back to my point of muting the movie. If you were to just have scenes where Buck go through the motions, interacting with his pack, interacting with humans, his masters, everyone else around him, you wouldn't really need to be able to have someone telling you exactly what it is. It's like reading a book and having someone saying exactly what you're reading in your ear. When I'm talking an audiobook, this scene means that this happens. Probably going to be going for more of a kid-friendly way of doing it. If the kids didn't fully understand what was happening on screen, then I can understand that. From a family perspective, didn't really need it. Felt like a good movie, regardless of having Harrison Ford's narration in it. Unnecessary, but understandable. And the biggest problem, I would have liked to have seen more from the characters. I wanted more story. I wanted to know exactly how long Buck had been with each person. Even as he was growing up into this household, obviously he was a beloved dog, but something must have gone awry. To show that emotion, that we feel like we're actually connecting with this, as if it's your own animal. They show more of that with a dog sledding story, and also with Harrison Ford. But in between, there were moments that I just wanted them to push a little deeper. But the biggest but that I can give, I loved it. Despite all of the bad, I found this to be an incredibly moving, insightful, deep, loving, caring picture. Really captured the imagination, the intensity, and the drama between human and man's best friend. It is nowhere near a bad movie. My description of this would be a beautiful picture. It is serene to look at times. The cinematography, the shots that they took. Now, I'm not sure if this was done on a green screen. Even if it wasn't, it's captivating. It's breathtaking, and it's really good to see. A simple movie about a dog finding his way, paying respect to his masters by never being too much and just enough to make the calling worth it. That's why The Call of the Wild gets.
This land was made for you and me.
Now, I always like to end my reviews with a quote from the film. Despite the fact that you could mute this, there were some memorable quotes, but they weren't really needed. And to be honest, I don't think I really need to give one. It's a movie that you should all experience for yourselves. If you don't want to watch this in cinemas, see it when it's on Netflix. Rent it. Watch it once, but the second time, put it on mute. And I guarantee you'll see a very moving picture that doesn't need any words. You'll know it when you see it. But that being said, did you see it? Will you see it? And if so, let me know in the comments. Until then, I've been DeeJsee, and always remember, did you see it? I knew that this would be able to get me. I was thinking it was going to just go for raw emotion, but no, they really put a lot of time and effort into it, and yet everyone is just losing their goddamn minds at Sonic. That's a kid's movie. This is family.